Hello everyone, I'm just setting up here. I guess I'm a little bit late, that's okay. I'm just checking the chat here to see who is here. And Prakar is here, and Layla. And Layla is not going to be able to attend. That's okay, Layla. If you see this, that's no problem. And Diallo's here, welcome back. You changed your name a little bit. And Floren's here from some English, Thantha Nui. And the topic today, I'll talk about the topic today. We'll see how it goes. And anyone else here, let me know in the comments if you want to. It's very important to participate in the comments section. So log into YouTube. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. And I'm just gonna get a few people more. I'm a little bit late today. We'll see if we can get a few more people. Okay. Who else is here? I can see more people. Carrie's here. Hello, Carrie. Fatima. Hello. Lutfi, Indonesia. And Ahmad from Syria. Okay, welcome everyone. So this is a topic discussion today. So this video is very important. In this live stream, it's very important that you guys participate. All right. So I'm going to ask questions, and you're going to participate. And I'm sure all of you are wondering, what are we talking about today? Well, I'll get to that in a moment. First, I'm just going to do a quick introduction in case there's any new people. My name's Robin, and I'm a Canadian teacher, and these are my live streams. I'm trying to do them every night. So if we review the schedule, Friday, this is Friday, and it's Friday night here in Korea. It's 10:33 p.m. and of course I have no social life, so I'm here talking to my best friends, you. I'm not out there drinking or anything. I want to spend it with you. And then tomorrow we're going to do a game, and then Sunday another English lesson. Oh, hi Fenny, welcome. Oh, there's a smoker. Hello, Robin. I am Aman. Oh, I got you, smoker. It's hard to remember names because a lot of you, your YouTube name and your WhatsApp name or your Facebook name is very different. So some of you have 2 names, some of you have 3 names. So it's hard for me to remember everyone's name. So the key, because I talk to hundreds of students every day, and I want to remember everyone, but that's impossible. The key to making me remember you is first, your name is unique. So I know a lot of Abdullahs, Ahmeds, Muhammads, and I confuse them all the time. So if your name is very common and you want me to remember your name, you should change it to something a little more unique. And another way for me to remember your name is it's the same here, it's the same in the WhatsApp group, it's the same in Facebook, and I can remember your name. All right, Smoker, I want to know the pronunciation of phonetics. Phonetics. Andy Kim, welcome. Andy's from South Korea. Oh, very interesting. Andy, welcome. I'm in Korea now, and a lot of Grace is in Korea. She's also in this group. So welcome, Andy. Aman Khan. Okay, present. Let's move on. The structure. This is the introduction. Every video I got to do an introduction to wait for the late people. And then today's topic we'll do, and then after the topic, we're going to do an English Q&A. Now, going back to the schedule, you see the schedule. I'm testing many types of things. to see which videos are popular, which videos people respond to. So today is topic discussion. It's a test to see how well, we can interact. Tomorrow is a game. I've never done a game live before, so that's a test. So everything here is a test. So probably in a month, 2 months, 3 months, I'm always getting better. Right now, everyone, you're watching the worst videos. They will get better over time as I know which kind of topics work, which don't work. All right. Let's move on. Okay, so today, A/B test, yeah. Florin, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can start sending surveys and things like that to my audience. So right now, my goal is just to hit 1,000 subscribers. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I have a lot of power to know exactly what my audience wants. But right now, the channel is very weak, but we're growing. Okay, so today's topic is just a discussion, and actually, I'm just going to try. It's a topic discussion, but there's a problem. You can hear me talk, but I can't really hear you talk, guys. So you got to type, and I want you to try to type. So your goal is to type your answers. Don't type them quick style. Try to give good answers with full sentences, with your best grammar, and things like that. Now, I was going to do a difficult topic today, but a lot of students advised me not yet. So I just said, okay, I'll listen to them and I'll do more of an easy topic. So a topic we're going to talk about today is actually about your country. You're going to talk about your country today, and I hope we have a lot of countries represented here. And where's the topic? So down here you can see the topic. What I want everyone to do is you start typing about your country. Now, I don't know if that's if you can see that clearly. I'll move it over here a little more. So we're going to talk about the best thing, and it's very positive, the best thing. But I'm also going to ask you about the negative, the worst thing. So the topic today is the best thing. I want you to tell me the best thing about my country is, the worst thing about my country is. And I want you to try to think about these two questions, or what you want to say about your countries. So, for example, I have an example. And I'll put my example here. The best thing about Canada is all the beautiful nature. Okay, so most of you know I come from Canada, and that's my country. And if I had to say the best thing about Canada, it's the nature. All right, Canada is very beautiful for nature, and I have a lot of good memories growing up in Canada and playing in nature, playing at lakes and in the forest, parks, the mountains, summer nature, winter nature. It's very lovely, and I have a lot of good memories about Canadian natural surrounding scenes. So when I explain that, that is the best thing about Canada. Now, I'm also going to say the worst thing about Canada, of course, is the cold weather. And I grew up in Canada. I grew up in northern Canada, and it was very, very cold growing up. In winter, it's over, it's minus 30, minus 35 degrees Celsius. And, I used to go out and play in that, and it was very, very cold. So now I don't go to Canada. Well, usually I don't travel back to Canada very often, but if I go to Canada, I only go in the summer. I don't go in the winter because it is just too cold. It is just too cold, so I avoid always going to Canada in the winter. I think the last time I've seen winter in Canada was geez, over 10 years ago. So I really avoid the cold. So I think for me, that's the worst part of Canada. So you can see I expressed myself. The best thing about Canada is all the beautiful nature, and the worst thing about Canada, it's too cold. Now, you guys in the comments, I see you, some of you have started typing. I want you to be typing your answers. I'm going to move that a little bit over there. So anyone coming in, you can see the topic. This is the topic, and I want you to answer. All right, I'm going to take a look at the comments to see what you guys are saying. And when I read about your country, I'm going to ask more questions about your country, and I want you to respond, please. Florin, I don't even watch news. Well, you don't need news for this topic. It's a little bit easier topic. This is, again, we're just testing this format of video. Aman Khan, phonetics. Smoker, I love my country for many reasons. Well, Smoker, please tell us what's the best thing about your country and what's the worst thing about your country. Win Nui, hi sir, hello. Grace, wow, today I can learn a lot of the countries all over the world. That's why I have this topic, Grace, but it's very important that the people participate, including you. You got to tell me the best of Korea and the worst of Korea. Yeah, you only have 200 letters, so you can write as many comments as you want. Florin says, I want to drink soju. Florin, please come to Korea to drink soju with Grace and me and Andy. All right, so Lutfi, good for you. You have your statement here. I'm looking at Lutfi Zakaria, her statement. Lutfi, you're a girl, right? Are you a man? Sorry, Lutfi, I don't remember exactly. The best thing of Indonesia is the temperature. So you're talking about the weather. And then you're adding beautiful nature like mountains. I think you have more than mountain, beaches, forests. Oh, you have many best things. So temperature, the weather. We want to say the weather. And beautiful nature, mountains, beaches, forest. And the cheap price of food. All right, so you said a lot of good things about Indonesia. And I've been to Indonesia. I would agree the temperature. I would agree the mountains. I would agree the beaches. And I would agree with you on the food. So I would agree with all of that. Now, you said the worst thing is the street. Many stuck anywhere. Okay, so Lutfi, I don't understand what you mean by the worst thing. So Lutfi, please write that again. Try to explain to us what is the worst thing, because I'm not sure what you mean by the street. Stuck. You mean traffic? Carrie. Carrie's from Korea. Let's take a look, Carrie. The best thing about Korea is the healthcare system and public transportation. All right, so you're saying, the best thing is usually only one thing. You guys are saying many things. That's okay. So if you're saying many things, you should say the best things. So if you have more than one, you should use things. So the best things about Korea, healthcare, yeah, I would agree. Public transportation, I would agree. Those are pretty good in Korea. And I think the worst thing about Korea is, okay, so the worst things about Korea are sexism, racism, and some selfish people. Maybe in Korea, Carrie, you're a woman, so yeah, you might feel sexism, racism. Yeah, I sometimes I feel a little bit of racism in Korea. Selfish people. Well, I think, Carrie, the sexism, racism, and selfish people, that's in every country, including Canada. But certainly the sexism is a little stronger in Korea. Okay, thank you for your answer, Carrie. So, Carrie, I'm going to ask you another question, and I want you to answer. Why did you choose racism? Because, Carrie, you're Korean, you're living in Korea. Why do you think racism is such a bad thing? Why don't you give me another comment? And Diallo there, the Jennabug Diallo. The best thing about Guinea Conakry, how do I pronounce that? Guinea, I know where that is. Conakry. Beautiful nature, green country. So the beautiful nature, it's a green country. And Diallo, what is the worst thing? You got to tell us the negative. We got to balance positive and negative. Grace. Korea is such convenient. You don't want to say convenience. You want to say a convenient place to live, such as public transportation. Okay, same as Gary. Fast internet. Now, yes, I have traveled many countries in the world, and without a doubt, Korea has the best internet. The best internet. Very fast, very stable. It allows me to do live streams. Delivery. What are you talking? Delivery of packages, delivery of food, or all delivery? And then, Grace, you put, however, Korea is to, you put competitiveness, and you want to say Korea is too competitive. It is too competitive. Okay? Now, Grace, I'm going to ask another question, and I want you to put the comment. Why do you think Korea is too competitive? Can you explain a little bit more why you feel that way? And Florid. The best thing about Romania is the friendly people. That's very interesting, Florin, because are you friendly? What do you think, Florin? Are you a friendly person? I've known you for a while, and I haven't met you. But sometimes, Florin, you're not so friendly. So doesn't mean it's bad, because I think I'm very similar to you, Florin, that I'm not really friendly to strangers. So I'm very interested in Romanian people. If all Romanian people are like you, Florin, or actually Romanian people are different than you, Florin, why don't you tell us? Florin, are you the typical Romanian man? Please answer. Smoker. The best thing in Syria is the best thing in Syria are the castles. What do you mean? What kind of castles are in? Do you mean temples or are they castles? It's very interesting in Syria. Lutfi, I'm a man. Sorry, Lutfi. Why did I think you were a girl? I don't know. And yes, Smoker, the worst thing in Syria is the war. Yeah, how's the war going? It's a terrible thing, right? Smoker, has your family been, well, I'm sure your family has been affected by the war, but it would be good if you just put a comment here to tell us a little bit about your life and how you're doing in Syria. Florin, and the worst thing about my country is that there is the healthcare system. So the healthcare system sucks in Romania. Okay, that's what I learned today. Don't get sick in Romania. Florin, why does it suck? And Grace offered, if you come to Korea, I will buy soju with great snack. Grace, you're offering Florin to buy soju with a great snack? I live in Korea. You never offered to buy me soju with a great snack. Oh, Florin says somek, kimchi. These are Korean. Oh, Florin says except Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il's dead. His son, Kim Jong-un, is the leader in North Korea. All right, Luffy. Yeah, the traffic. The traffic, and you want to say the traffic... erase my board. I need an assistant. Hey, if this channel gets really popular, maybe I'll get an assistant to erase the board. Some of my students. Anyway, you want to say the traffic. It's a good expression. That's why I'm writing it here. So the traffic, and you just want to say sucks. The traffic sucks. You don't want to say is stuck. Well, you have a different sentence. The traffic is stuck. This is better. The traffic sucks. Stuck means traffic. I'm Abdul Raham. Hello, Robin. Miss you. I miss you too. Welcome back. Selfishness is everywhere. Correct. Let's see. Diallo, what time is it? I'm a little bit behind. I'll try to catch up. Diallo says, where I'm living in Ghana is very peaceful and the people are very traditional. So the best thing in Ghana is it's peaceful and traditional. Traditional is good. Are you a traditional person, Diallo? Lutfi, yep, you'd been there and you said you come to my city when you come again. Yep, certainly. Armando Serrato. The best thing about Nicaragua is the simplicity of our lifestyle. Interesting. And that's a very good sentence, Armando. You got a good sentence there. The best thing about Nicaragua is the simplicity of our lifestyle. So that's a good word, simplicity. We are happy people who love to celebrate. You don't need the for. We love to celebrate any occasion. Yeah, as most of you know, I was in Nicaragua a couple weeks ago, and it was a nice country. I enjoyed myself in Nicaragua, and I'd love to go back. Blajar Cantones, welcome. The late people, you should be writing. This is your work right now. Anyone here, you should be writing the best thing. What is the best thing, and what is the worst thing about your country? Florence says, I have fast internet too. Well, in Florence, in Romania, all of Romania has fast internet. I'm Abdul Raham. Abdul Raham is, I don't understand. If you have an exam and you want to tell somebody about it, how we say, is it like I will have an exam? If I get examined already, do we say I took an exam? Yeah, that's just an English question. I'm not doing the English questions yet, but yeah, I will have an exam. I took an exam. Those are expressions. And Latvi talking about Jakarta because my city is the biggest city after Jakarta. Yeah. Traffic. Yeah, Jakarta, I remember the traffic. If anybody, you go to Jakarta, that is, without a doubt, Jakarta had the worst traffic. So, sorry, Lutfi. I don't mean to complain about your country, but Jakarta, wow, the traffic sucks. It was really, really terrible. Always terrible. Hastoka Ali, hello. Hastoka Ali, please tell us the best thing and the worst thing about your country. And Diallo, Guinea Conakry is high in corruption. High in corruption is probably most of the world. Low in education. And that is, yeah, I understand what you're talking about because I see that everywhere. High corruption, low in education, which is terrible. Florence says, I am not friendly. Okay, so Florence, you're similar to me. And I am not a typical Romanian. So Florence, you're similar to me. I am not a typical Canadian. All right, so Grace is asking why Korea is competitive. Many people care about what next door people, what they have and don't have. So Grace, Do you care about the next door people? Or maybe, Grace, you have so many things and other people are jealous of you. Carrie Page, message retracted. Why, Carrie Page? It sucks money. I don't know if it is literally. What is it, Florin? All right, so Andy, another Korean. The best thing of Korea is that we have 4 beautiful seasons. Andy, you're just using the common Korean answer. Especially the spring and fall and are absolutely mesmerizing in Korea. Wow, good expression. Absolutely mesmerizing in Korea. So Andy is using very strong language to promote his country. Good for you, Andy. I think those are the best seasons to visit Korea. Wrong answer. If anyone asks you, what's the best season to visit your country? You should always say any season. Andy Kim, did you travel a lot? Because I think, all of Europe, Russia, Canada, USA, all the Western countries have 4 seasons. That's very common in the world. 4 seasons is very, very common. So that's not really special to Korea, right? Because so many countries have 4 seasons. But the spring and fall, recently, Andy, and again, I don't mean to say bad things about the country, but I'm going to tell the truth. I would agree that spring used to be beautiful and fall used to be beautiful, but the last few years, the air pollution in Korea has just been making all seasons terrible, especially spring. Actually, spring is a pretty dirty season, Andy. Again, I'm sorry to complain about Korea, but I live in Korea, but geez, the pollution is getting worse and worse. All right, Carrie. Because I think some Koreans discriminate against Southeast Asian people and black people. Yeah. So a lot of you, if you don't know about Korea, Korea brings in a lot of Southeast Asian people to work low-level jobs like factories or in the agricultural farming and whatnot, and they work low-level jobs, and I think, some Koreans discriminate, treat them a little bit bad. For the most part, Koreans treat me very well, but sometimes I meet racist Koreans that don't even like me. They want me out of the country. But that's every country. Every country. All right, Smoker. Let's see. I'm about 8 minutes behind your messages. I'll try to catch up, guys. Sorry, I'm a little slow. Smoker, yes. All of us, you should say all of us, were affected by the war, and my brother was injured by the bombs. Smoker, you're my hero because you're in such a difficult place in the world. And I know, life is hard for a lot of people there, but, you're all struggling. And Smoker, you're here to study English to improve your life. So good for you. And I hope your country gets better. And I hope your brother wasn't injured too much by the bombs. Andy Kim, there's not much rain during the seasons. It's warm and the cool, refreshing breeze on a shiny day. Yeah, you're right, Andy, but as I said, it is getting a little dirty. Lutfi. Oh, not assistant. You just needed a partner, like we said, new teacher. New teachers are coming, guys. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, there's new teachers. So as of now, I think we're around 550 subscribers. So in a couple weeks, there'll be new teachers. Florin, you can buy soju. Wanderson. Brazil. Good. Let's hear about Brazil. The best thing about Brazil is that we have a great climate. Really? I haven't been to Brazil, but I think Brazil is just hot and humid. Why do you say it's great? Comment. Tell us, Wanderson. And Wanderson, don't forget to tell us the worst thing about Brazil. Awadi Alawathi. Sorry if I got your name wrong. How are you, teacher? I'm fine. Saudi Arabia. Tell us, what's the best thing about Saudi Arabia and the worst thing about Saudi Arabia? All right. All right, so Florin also, Romania has good internet speed. Good. I might go to Romania then. Leave Korea, move to Romania. Okay. Carrie's been to Nicaragua too. It's a beautiful country. Oh, Adwi Alawathi, I have worst internet. Yeah, that's the unfortunate with my live stream, because a lot of my WhatsApp group members, their internet is not good enough to watch the live streams, and I feel very bad. You know, they can chat in WhatsApp, but their internet is just so slow or unstable that they can't even watch my live stream. So I get messages every day. Sorry, Robin, I can't watch your live stream because my internet is too slow. Okay, Diallo adapts. Florin, did you find a maple syrup in South Korea? Florin, I don't go looking for maple syrup, but because I'm Canadian, a lot of people give me a gift of maple syrup. So, you know, on my birthday or Teacher's Day, someone or some student gives me a gift, and a lot of the time it's maple syrup, but I don't buy it. All right. Nargis, tell us about the best thing about your country, the worst thing about your country. That's your work right now. And Gassam, welcome. Today you're talking. Gassam, tell us the best thing and the worst thing about your country. And Florin, what is the worst thing you found in one of the world countries? Florin, that's a difficult question because I don't want to make people sad or angry. But I won't say the country by name, but the worst thing is people smoking and spitting in buildings, on the bus, in the subway. You can see people smoking and spitting. And I'm not going to say the country, but that's the worst I've seen, where people smoke and spit inside buildings or subways. All right, so Andy, the worst thing about my country is that some people are too noisy, even in public places like the subway, and they eat with their mouth open. Yeah, Andy, I might agree. That's one of the worst things. People can, compared to Japan, in Japan on the subway, Japanese people are very quiet. But you go on the Korean subway, and yeah, people can be a little bit noisy. It is annoying sometimes, but that's life here. Sometimes I'm noisy on the subway. Latvi, but Surabaya, my city, not like Jakarta, the traffic is good. So when you come here, don't worry, you'll be comfortable. I'll be comfortable. Are you going to drive me around? Do you have a car, Latvi? Can you give me a tour? Florin, may I use swear words? Florin, I would prefer you don't use swear words. YouTube doesn't like swear words. So if you start using swear words, my chat room will start notifying me of bad words, and it will recommend for me to delete those words. So Florin, be careful with the words. YouTube, I'm okay, but YouTube doesn't like them, right? Ha, thanks, Andy. Thanks for your comments, Andy. And flora and pollution. Gotta catch them all like Pokemon. Sorry. The best thing Myanmar is very beautiful, but the worst thing is low education. But I think Myanmar is getting better. Myanmar is getting better. You know, countries develop at different speeds. And in my travels, I've seen a lot of countries that are staying the same. But I think Myanmar slowly getting better. Winnie, I've been learning English with your videos for 6 months. Your videos make me improve and motivate to my self-study, especially I like lessons, basic 60 lessons. Winnie, how do I pronounce the NWE? Winnie? Sorry, I can't pronounce. I'll just call you Win. Win, thank you very much for supporting the channel, and because I have 2 channels and you've watched to me. I look older than the videos you have been watching, but thanks a lot for your support, man. It means a lot to me. Oh, Andy Kim, you can say that again, but I live in the southern part of Korea. My area is not suffering from the fine dust. We call it fine dust. Which part of Korea are you from, Andy? Are you from Busan or Daegu? Maybe we can meet one day. Lutfi. My name, Lutfi, with you. I'm saying Lutfi. Lutfi is with a U. Or do you pronounce it Lutfi? Because Lutfi, I read it as Lutfi, but you could Lutfi. I don't know which way. You got to tell me in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in my WhatsApp groups, join that now. Down below, you can find a link. Join the WhatsApp groups. Or another group of mine. I mean, the link's below. Okay, so about 7 minutes behind. Sorry, guys. I'll catch up with the comments. Grace, Korea, I can walk 24 hours outside when I want. I think it's pretty safe. However, we are still middle in war. We are in a state of truce. Grace, I haven't traveled to every country in the world, but I've traveled to about 50 countries, or 40 countries, 40 to 50 countries. Without a doubt, Korea is in the top 5 for safe. So South Korea, Japan, these are really, really safe countries. These are safer than Canada, certainly. So yeah, surprisingly, my number one safest country, the safest country I've ever traveled to, and you guys are going to be shocked, the safest country has been North Korea. Without a doubt, walking around North Korea, traveling in North Korea, it was safe. It is so safe. Nobody bothers you. Nobody's going to steal. Nobody's going to do anything to the foreigner. I'm talking about North Korea as being a tourist there. I'm not talking about the political situation. I'm just talking about being just a tourist in North Korea compared to being a tourist in other countries. Abdul Muntalib, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Welcome to the live stream. Answer the questions. Tell me about the best thing or the worst thing in your country. Aman Khan, we determine our deeds as much as we determine our deeds. What does that mean? We determine our deeds? Deeds? You said deeds twice. We determine, I'm not sure your meaning. Maybe you can explain that, Aman Khan? All right. Awadi, Alawathi, all things here in Saudi Arabia are good. Only internet. You mean the only internet is bad? Everything is good in Saudi Arabia? Now, I watch the news and I don't hear many good things about Saudi Arabia. So, I hear a lot of bad things about Saudi Arabia. So, please tell us more about the good things. Now, what you think? Just internet is bad? Aman Khan, the network is disturbing me. Yeah, sorry, Aman. Winnie, so if you're convenient, collect lessons for beginners. I always watch your videos download with offline. We're always making new lessons. Noisiness is, Florence, noisiness is pollution. Yeah, we call it noise pollution. Aman Khan, pronounce it Lafayette. What do you mean? Smoker, my brother is injured in his hand, which is heavily damaged. He cannot move it good. Oh, that's too bad, Smoker. Elvin Ivazov. Welcome, Elvin. Which country you're from, and tell us the best thing about your country, the worst thing about your country. Write it in the comments. Tell us. Grace. How much? I'm 6 minutes behind. Sorry, Grace, you had to wait 6 minutes. Everyone's waiting. Even I'm Korean. I don't know much about Korea because I live as like a big fish in a little pond. I haven't used Subway much. I didn't know that people are eating in the subway. You don't use a subway much. You just walk and use your car. Korea's fine. I don't have many complaints about Korea, the noisiness or eating too much. You know, because recently the pollution has gotten so bad in Korea that anything else bad about Korea is not really a problem. The problem is the pollution, the air pollution. These days, it's been so-so. It's been okay. All right, so Elvin, which country are you from, Elvin? The best is everything cheap, and the worst is bad education. Florin, did I support you by watching your videos on the first channel, Robin? Florin, yeah, you support anytime. The best way to support is to watch a video. And like the video and comment under the video if you like the video. That's supporting me. That's it. If you do that, Florin. But I think my videos are more for beginners, Florin, and you're not a beginner, Florin. So, you know, if you enjoy the live streams and you learn something from the live streams, this is better for you. And you've been supporting the live stream. So, Florin, yeah, I appreciate Florin. I appreciate everyone here. But Florin comes almost every day, so he's a super student. Belajar, Cantones. My country is nice, like is Bali, Central Java. The worst is no easy go place, bite to place, because Indonesia still has not or the metro. Yeah, I understand. In Jakarta, Jakarta would be great if it had an underground metro system, subway system, but it was just terrible in Jakarta. I loved going to Jakarta. It was a great experience, but you know, we were talking a little bit of negative things, but overall, I loved Indonesia. Don't think I hate your countries. Lutfi. I will, and I should give you a tour in some interesting place, I promise. Not yet, but I have a motorcycle. Okay, great. Yeah, I know you're in the WhatsApp group, and I read your comments. Andy Kim. Robin, could you please tell us what is the best part of being in Korea? The best part of being in Korea is a very convenient country. So it's very easy. Like you guys said, transportation is very easy. I drive a car. It's very easy to drive a car in Korea. It's very convenient to do many things, to go many places. And I like to travel. So Korea is in Asia. It's a good place for me to travel. Uh, like that, Andy. Florin, I can write a novel about how much I hate Romania. Florin, go to another country. Oh, Elvin, I wrote about Azerbaijan. Oh, one day I'll go there. But it's sad that you have those complaints about Azerbaijan. Florin, I watched your videos a few years ago. Wow, Florin, you are a super student. You've known me for years. I've only known you for almost a year. I guess 8-9 months. I've known you, Florin. Oh, really? It's built in Jakarta. All right, I'm 2 minutes behind. I'm catching up. Yay! The smoker. The good thing, I can know the world more and more by learning English. Yep. Learn it. You gotta learn an international language. Now, right now, English is an international language, but there are other international languages like Spanish and French, German, Chinese. These languages are in many countries, so learning international language opens you up beyond your own country. So, sorry to the Koreans. Korean is not an international language, so only Korea speaks Korean. So it doesn't really open them up to the world. But English, yeah, learning English helps them to learn more about the outside world. So learning English gives you knowledge and it gives you power, but also it makes you more aware of the world and life in other countries. All right, and you said the English is the most important thing in my life. Good to hear. But the problem is my English is weak. Well, you say your English is weak, but I think I would have to hear you in the WhatsApp groups. The most common complaint when I talk to students, even Grace here, they'll say my English is weak, but actually their English is great. Because every day I talk to weak students, and weak students, it's very hard to communicate. Pronunciation is terrible. And smoker, weak students cannot write that. You wrote a small paragraph here. Weak students can't write that. Grace, what do you think of Korean people? Grace, Andy, you guys are great. Other Korean people, not so great. Depends on the person. I live in Korea, and sometimes Korean people bother me. I don't like those people, but Grace, Andy, Carrie, you guys are great. Oh, it's a character name, Lafayette. Lutfi. Well, you can be or you, Lutfi. Lutfi, am I pronouncing that right? Lutfi. Yeah, German is an international language. Florin, do you know Korean playwrights? No, I don't know Korean literature. Lutfi, yes it is. And in my city, you can use the public bus and it's free. Okay, good. You just need to pay with 3 plastic bottles and you can use it. Oh, that's interesting. But still, paying with bottles. That's interesting. Smoker, I'm studying English in the university. I'm a first-year English student. Good for you, Smoker. Good for you to continue your education. And I hope you go to do your master's and PhD. Andy, you eat with mouth open? Andy, Koreans don't really, some Koreans eat with their mouth open, but there's other countries, I'm not going to say the country, they really eat with their mouths and make noise. But Koreans are, some people do that, but Koreans are okay. But I don't eat with my mouth open. I'm a very quiet eater because I'm in Canada. You know, my mom, if I ever made a noise while eating, my mom would be angry. Elvin, by the way, sir, now I'm preparing to take the IELTS. You spelled IELTS wrong. Exam. That is why I don't use WhatsApp. You know it takes a lot of time. I sent you a request on Facebook. Please add me to your group. Also, Telegram. All right, Elvin, I'll check that later. No, 2 days ago, I did a video on IELTS. So check my video library. I did a video on IELTS and TOEFL if you haven't seen that. Grace, so you've traveled lots of countries. What country people were the best? I want to move there. The country people that were the best. Honestly, when I was in England, the people were not the friendliest. Okay, so British people are not the friendliest. I'm sorry to any British people here, but I was the most comfortable with British people. So when I was in England, I was very comfortable with those people compared to America. So when I go to England, I'm comfortable, but in America, I feel like Americans are different. But British people, I feel like they're very similar to me. So I don't want to say they're the best, though. The best people. Thailand is also great because the people are so easygoing and friendly in Thailand. But you know, I don't really judge the whole country because every country I go to, I meet good people and I meet bad people. Florin, Koreans are polite. Florin, the moment you say Koreans are polite, I know you haven't visited Korea. Well, I shouldn't say Koreans are not rude, just the culture is what you think is polite is very different in Korea. So the idea of what is polite is very different. So a lot of foreigners come to Korea and they don't really adjust to the Korean politeness way. But Koreans are polite. I wouldn't. Some Koreans are polite, but the culture is very different, Florin. I don't want the Koreans to be angry. I love Korea. There's a lot of polite Koreans. But I mean, when I travel to like Japan, Japanese people are very, very polite. And Korea is better than like China. China, I'm always angry at people on the street in China. But again, I don't want to generalize, guys. Every country, there's good people, bad people. All right, Elvin, see you next time. Smoker, your name is Ahmad. Okay, I'll try to remember that, Smoker. I'll try to call you Ahmad, but I might forget tomorrow. I might forget later that there's so many students. Subtitle movie clips. I apologize for nearly missing the live stream and missing the last one. Kevin, that was your name, right? Subtitled movie clips. I'm sorry, but if you miss a live stream, you don't get the refund. Just kidding. No problem. You don't have to watch every live stream. Florin, England is the country I wish to move. I wish to move to England too, but it's too expensive. Lutfi, it's interesting, right? Many interesting places more. That is why I told you you have to come to my city. I'll give you a tour. And yes, pronounce it rug. Right? Rug? What does that mean? Prakar, population is the worst thing of India. Prakar, what's the best thing? Yeah, India, there's just too many people. China too. It's just crazy, these countries with so many people. There's so many different kinds of people, and there's so many kinds of ethnic groups. There's so many dialects. It's just hard to imagine or to comprehend how big these countries are, how big these cultures are, how diverse they are. So I think population is the worst thing in India. Maybe I would agree, but yeah, the overpopulation causes a lot of poverty. When I went to India, I could see a lot of poverty, a lot of poor people, a lot of beggars. So I felt a little sad. Lutfi, you pronounce it right. Keep like that and try to remember it. If I forget, remind me. Susanna, hi from Barcelona. Welcome, Susanna. Our topic today is the best thing about my country, the worst thing about my country. So Barcelona's in Spain. What's the best thing about Spain? What's the worst thing about Spain? Grace, which country was cheap where you have visited? Cambodia, very cheap. Thailand's very cheap. Korea is actually very cheap too. Florin, in this world there can be too many people. Yeah, Florin. Ahmed, I really want to listen to you when you speak Arabic. Can I call you on the WhatsApp and give you many words in Arabic to pronounce them in Arabic? Sorry, Ahmad, I don't do any phone calls. Ahmad, the best way is to send voice notes in the groups. And yeah, you could teach me a few words of Arabic. But actually, not in my English groups, because I try to keep 100% English environment. I don't know. Send me a private message and we can talk about that. Florin, overpopulation is a thing I don't contribute. So, Florin, you have no kids. I don't have kids too, so I don't contribute to the world problem. Wanderson, speaking English is something incredible. Good words. Anyone who does not speak English is limiting their success. I agree. I want to move forward every day. Thank you, Professor Robin. Don't call me Professor, just call me Robin. I agree with you, Wanderson, and it's good for you to realize that, and I hope you continue with your English education and you develop it more and more, because one day I'm going to test you, because I'm going to be in Brazil and I'm going to meet you and I'm going to start talking to you, and I hope you're ready to talk to me at that time. Florin, I'll go to Moldova soon. When? Grace, Korea is cheap. Why we are too hard to survive here? Well, Grace, you live in Seoul. You live in an expensive city. I don't live in Seoul. I live outside of Seoul. So right away, things are cheaper for me. So Grace, if you want to live in the center of Seoul, you got to pay. You got to pay a lot of money. You want to live in the center of any big city, you got to pay. But you live outside the big cities, things get cheaper. Heng Tong, the best thing in Hong Kong is many delicious food. Yeah, I would agree. What's the worst thing in Hong Kong? Tell us. Hastoki Ali, there are many worse things in my country. I can't count them for you. But what is the worst? Worst means the absolute worst. Murtada Al Manifa. Hi there. I am a Yemeni citizen, but I live in Saudi Arabia. The best thing about Yemen is is that so beautiful places to visit, though. There's so many beautiful places. And of course, Yemen is another country with war. Yeah. Syria and Yemen, these are places that are having a lot of conflict. Okay, thank you for sharing, Murtada. And how are you doing? Have you been, has the war caused you any trouble to you or your family? All right, Diallo, see you. Smoke, Ahmed, okay. Foreign professor is a teacher at a university. That's my main job, but that's not what I am here. This is not a university right now, so I don't like to be called professor now. When I go to school next semester and the students start calling me professor, okay, professor, but right now I'm not your professor. So I just like Robin. Prakar, best thing of India is 28% of IBM employees are Indians. Oh, that's interesting. Astoka Ali, lacking of knowledge is one of the worst things, I think. Yeah, that's a world problem. Everyone is ignorant. We have to keep learning throughout our life. We should never stop learning new subjects and learning about new country or other countries, other cultures. This is the homework of every human, to keep expanding their mind. Beirang Pan. Hi, I'm Jack. Welcome, Jack. Tell us your country. What do you think is the worst thing about your country? What do you think is the best thing? Yeah. Arman Khan, your network is too slow. Well, Arman, you don't have to watch it live. You can watch it recorded. If you watch it recorded, it'll be smooth. I know live we can talk, but all of these videos, once they're finished, they go into my channel library. You can watch them anytime. Hang Tong, the worst thing is the traffic, busy everywhere. Traffic is a world problem. Jack, what are the bad? That's our topic today. The worst things. What are the worst things in your country? Oh, you say the worst thing is religion. Why do you say religion? Why is religion such a bad thing? Oh, okay. Well, we're not gonna get into a religious topic. Let's play it safe. Let's stop the religious talk. It was my fault. I started asking. Okay, anyway, guys, we're gonna finish the topic, and we're just gonna move on to English Q&A. So now is the time. If you have any English questions, I will try to answer them. So if you have questions, anything about grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, ask them now. If they're easy to answer, I will answer them. But if it's very complicated, I'll probably tell you sorry. Write it in my Facebook page or WhatsApp. All right, Murtada, thank you for your kind words. I'm glad I have good students like you. And Florin, I have an English question already. Bring it, Florin. Let's hear your English question. Don't tell me you have an English question. Just ask it. Here, I'll clean up, get my board ready while you guys are making questions. Okay, guys. Andy Kim. What is the most severe insult of English? Andy, YouTube doesn't want me to say bad words. So I'll say the worst insult kids can use is you idiot. Idiot is a strong word. I think I said yeah. I can't say bad words, Andy, because YouTube doesn't like that. You asked me that question in one of my groups below. Grace Slim. You always have questions, Grace, and that tells me right there you are studying every day and you're a good student. I hope I can be a good teacher to answer your question. Let's see. Anyone know what's going on? Is it a question? Even in that sentence, it is using no without S. I saw that sentence in the movie script. Anyone know what's going on? Yeah. What do you mean? Anyone. Okay, so if you're using I would have to get the rules. If you're using does, it's a question form, Grace. It's a question form, and it's actually the full question. Does. If you use like he knows, does he know? When you're in the question form, there's no S for he, she, it, anybody, everybody, things like that, because it's question form. I think that answers your question, Grace. Florin, which irregular plural should I know and why? Which irregular plural? Like, you mean people? Like that? Florin, I can't think of every irregular plural right now. But I'm pretty sure, Florin, you already know at least 95% of the irregular plurals. Murtanda Al-Manifi. How can we understand motif and motive? A motif. Let me check. I haven't heard that word in a long time. I think it's like a theme. Motif in a story. No. Yeah, it can be like a theme in a story. It has another meaning. But anyway, your question, how can we understand motif and motive? Are you talking about pronunciation? Because motif and motive are very different words. If you spend 1 minute looking at the dictionary, you can see there's no connection between these words. The only problem I can see is maybe you're having a problem with pronunciation. It's motif and motive. Motif. F sound, my teeth are coming down. Motif, motive. Andy Cam Noe. Hastoka Ali, could you tell me what does genuine mean? Clarify it with an example. Genuine means true, something that is real. The opposite would be fake. So maybe I have a watch. It is a Rolex watch. And you might ask me, oh, you've got a Rolex. Is that genuine Rolex or is that a fake Rolex? And I would say it's a genuine Rolex. It's a real. It's not fake. It's not imitation. For a genuine person, you might describe someone as genuine, which means their personality they're not two-faced. So what you see about their personality is really their personality. They're honest, nice people. You would say they're genuine people. I hope that helps. Florin, question form. Do, does, subject, verb. Are you answering a question or are you asking a question? Okay, but in the movie script, I couldn't read does in front of the sentence. When we are speaking, we can delete does as like anyone know what's going to... Yes, Grace, welcome to Spoken English, where native speakers break grammar rules every day. So, if I ask, does anybody speak English? And I changed it just to anybody speak English. That's perfectly fine. But it's following the does grammar rule. But sorry, Grace, if you're watching movies, the native speakers are gonna, bend all the grammar rules, sometimes break those grammar rules, and you're gonna be wondering what happened. But that's spoken English. And I'm sure in these live streams, every night I'm breaking grammar rules. I'm saying stuff that, probably my grammar is terrible. No, I'm sure my grammar is terrible sometimes. Florin, I watch watches. I watch watches. Watch your watch. Aman Khan, I'll do PhD. Good for you, Aman. Okay. Any last questions? Get them in now. We'll finish up this live stream in, I guess, a few minutes, depending on the questions. I don't see any new questions. Excuse me. Murtada al-Manefi. Cliché. Is that a French or English word? Would you please explain that term along with examples? All right, everyone, you should be focused on Murtada al-Manefi's question here. It's a good question because cliché is a word you should know, and it is, yes, it's borrowed from French. Okay, it is originally a French word, and English borrows that word because we like that word. We're going to steal it and use it ourselves. And to understand cliché, if you check the dictionary, the explanation does not capture exactly what that word means. And cliché kind of means something that is too common, so it loses its power, or it's not interesting anymore. So it's like really, really common. So an example, I got to give examples because he asked for examples, and that's when you guys ask me for examples, it takes more time. So cliché, okay, I got a good example. If I ask my Korean student, how are you? Usually my Korean students will repeat as a joke what they learned in elementary school, and they will say, I'm fine, thank you, and you. Now, that's what their teacher taught them to say, and, it's kind of funny that they're just following the script, and they know it. So whenever I ask that question, they always say, I'm fine, thank you, and you, as a kind of joke. But I heard that joke so many times, it's not funny. So it's cliche to me. Oh, that's a cliche answer. Another cliche thing in Korea for me is when I use chopsticks. So if I go to eat with Koreans, I use chopsticks to eat the food. And almost every time, I'm the foreigner, and then Koreans watching me, and they always say the same joke. Doesn't matter which group of people, someone will say, "You use chopsticks better than me." Ha ha ha. And that joke, I've heard that almost every week for 20 years by hundreds of people. That joke is so common to me that that's a cliche. I would say that's cliche. I don't say that to them, but in my mind, that's cliche. The too common joke. So yeah, cliche is the feeling when someone says something that you just feel, that's too common of an answer or too common of a speech. If a new politician, he wants to be president of your country, and he says, I will fight corruption. Yeah, that's cliche. Every politician says that, but it doesn't really matter. It's cliche. So they might say that, but so many people said it that expression doesn't have power anymore. That's cliche. I hope that helps. That's not the perfect explanation, but that should give you some idea. I guess I spent too much time. All right, I'm going to hurry up on these last questions, and then we'll have to finish our live stream. And let's see. Okay, Beirang Pan, I have no question. I want to speak more and become fluent. Good. And Florence says it became a cliche that Robin do live streams. Florence, you're lucky I like that kind of humor, because that is funny. But I hope my live streams are not cliche. Grace, thank you. We always break grammar rules when we're speaking. I think every spoken language is different from text written in language. Yes, Grace, that is exactly right. So don't stress too much about getting perfect English. Andy Kim, are there any places in Canada where the P is frozen before it hits the ground? No. There is no place in the world if P is frozen. You should spell frozen with an F, like the movie Frozen. When P, urine, exits the body, it is very warm. It cannot freeze before it hits the ground. In Canada. Andy Kim, can I find somewhere in Canada where they don't sell the Timmy's coffee? I think you're talking about Tim Hortons. I've never been to Tim Hortons in Canada. Beiran Pan, he misspelled frozen. He put a P. It's okay. It's a common mistake. Instead of an F, he put a P. Frozen. Okay, Andy fixed it. Beirang Pan. The weather is very cold in Canada, most places, so it would happen in north parts especially. Beirang, it would have to be really, really, really cold for that to happen. And Grace, have you heard my English is short from Korean? No, I haven't heard that expression, but if one of my students ever said my English is short, I would be talking to them about their Konglish. Rachel, welcome. We're almost finishing here. Beirang Pan, why some native people don't make questions with what or why or where? I don't know. I make questions with what, why, or where every day. Bertanda Al-Manifi, thanks so much, dear teacher. In comparative literature, what are the main aspects to focus on? Well, comparative literature, I took I'm an English major for my bachelor degree. I took a world comparative literature class. I'm not sure exactly what your question would be for comparative. If you're doing comparisons, just understand it's comparative literature. Can you make a better, more detailed question so I know what you're asking? Florin, thank you. Freeze, froze, frozen. Koreans might say please, pros, prosen. I love you, Mr. Shah. Thank you. Every country has its equivalent of Konglish. Yeah, so Konglish is Spanglish, Honglish, I guess in Hong Kong, Singlish. In Romania, what's it called? Romanish? Hey, Beirang Pan, you say you're Jack. Change your YouTube name to Jack. That helps me. Romglish. That's cute. Is that real, Florin? Do you call it Romglish, or are you just saying a joke? And Jack, there's another reason I say your YouTube name is because other people, if I say Beirang Pan, other people know you. If I say Jack, they might not know who I'm talking about. Winnie, Mienglish, yeah. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna finish this. This is one of the longest live streams. It's very surprising because I thought today's live stream would be shorter. If you're still watching me, thank you for participating in our discussion today. And tomorrow, let's check our schedule. Tomorrow is Saturday. We're going to have a game. It's the first time we're trying out a game, so come back Saturday. I hope we can have some fun playing games. We'll see how it goes. I'll do my best to structure a good lesson, or not a lesson, but a good game. So come back tomorrow. If you liked the video, please press like. And if you want to keep talking to me, where is it? Up there. Join my links, or the links below. Also, you can contact me on all kinds of social media platforms. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.